Have you ever wanted to have your own island? Would you like to create that island pretty much any way you want? Check out my review of Animal Crossing New Horizons coming up next on Mumbles. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. In today's episode of Mumbles, I'm bringing you guys another game review. And today's game review is on the newly released Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, I got a lot of things to say about this game, but before we get into any of that, I have to ask you guys all a huge favor. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, ring the little notification bell, and drop a like on the video. All these things help the channel to grow, helps me to be found more on YouTube, make my channel grow, blah, 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 blah. I just appreciate it so much, so thank you guys so much for doing that. Now guys, let's talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now guys, first things first, I have to say that I gave Animal Crossing New Horizons a 9 out of 10 on our Mumbles review. Why did I give it a 9 out of 10? You're about to find out. But first things first, we have to talk to you guys about some of the general information about this game. First thing first, this game is available only on the Nintendo Switch. If you don't have the Nintendo Switch, I'm sorry, it is not available elsewhere. Now, the description for this game reads, and I'm going to read this first little part because it really does a good job of describing what this game is. Escape to a desert island and create your own paradise as you explore, create, and customize the Animal Crossing New Horizons game. Your island getaway has a wealth of natural resources that can be used to craft everything from tools to creatured comforts. You can hunt down insects at the crack of dawn, decorate your paradise throughout the day, or enjoy sunset on the beach while fishing in the ocean. The time of day and season match real life, so each day on your island is a chance to check in and find new surprises all year round. Guys, that does a great job of describing this game. This is basically it's a sim game where you control a character, you create an island that is yours, you manage the island, blah, blah, blah. That is basically what Animal Crossing is. Now, graphics, soundtrack, to control-wise, this game looks fantastic. Soundtrack-wise, it has a nice little relaxing soundtrack to it. You know, it's nothing that's too heavy. It's very light and airy, and it does a good job of, putting you in a good mood. Control-wise, this game can be a little bit tricky on the controls to start with, but for the most part, controls work great. Nothing but good things to say about them. Now let's talk about the gameplay. For those of you that have no idea what Animal Crossing is, basically this is a game where you are given a deserted island and you have to build it up to meet your specifications. Now, there is no ultimate goal to this game. It is basically based on what your mind wants it to be. So let's say you want your house to be surrounded by a waterfall. You can make that happen. You can do all different sorts of things in this game, and you can create it exactly how you want it. You can furnish your house the way you want it. You can do all sorts of different things in this game. Beyond just designing and creating things in Animal Crossing, you can also do fishing and bug catching. Now, why would you want to do those two things? Well, first off, you can sell that stuff for money. But second off, there is a museum in this game that will show off all your collection. So for those of you that are out there that are completionists, this is a good way to get that bug filled. So guys, to sum all that up that I just said, basically this is a game where you create your own kind of adventure and story. So there is little guidelines that you're given in as much as, especially when you first start, you have to do this, you have to do that. But for those of us that really need those tasks in order to continue onwards, Animal Crossing also implemented the Nook Mile system, which basically rewards you for completing certain tasks. So there's always something to do in this game. Now, Animal Crossing does run on the real world clock if you want it to. More on that in a second. But basically, this allows you to have something to do all the time. As the seasons change in real life, seasons will change on your island. As holidays happen in real life, holidays will happen on your island. So on and so forth. As you can see where I'm going with this. Now, for those of you that do not have the time to wait for, oh, I don't want to wait for tomorrow. I'm not a gamer that likes to do that kind of stuff. You don't have to do that. You can actually kind of cheat a little bit and actually fast forward the time in your game so that you don't have to actually rely on the real world clock. Let's say you work a job and instead of having your island always be at night, you can simply change the system clock on your Switch and then you can have it as daytime. So on and so forth. That's basically what I'm saying here. So there's all different kinds of things you can create. There's all different kinds of villagers that you can bring to your island. This game has a lot of multitude of different things that you can build up and do in it. But it is not without some faults. Guys, my first con for this game is that you can only have one island per Switch. In a game that is very much family friendly, you can only have one island per Switch. That means that literally one island per Switch. So if you have multiple accounts or it's a family Switch, only one person can have an island and then everyone else can kind of goof around on the island. But it's only one island. That's a big time con for Nintendo. I don't like that they did that, because for a system like the Nintendo Switch where it's very family oriented, I feel like some children may want their own island apart from their parents so they can kind of, you know, show off what they've done and so on and so forth. And that's kind of a buzzkill when it comes to this game. My second con is online, the load times. At times the load times can be very excessive in this game, and they really needed to work on that just slightly because it is kind of a downside con. And the other con that I have is that mail is done in a way that it is made to prevent spam, so I can't send you 20 things, one after the other, after the other, after the other. But this can also create kind of a bad thing if you have someone you want to share things with. You actually have to wait, which is kind of a downside, guys. Also, another con that I have is that it takes 40 full days to get full access to all the terraforming items, to be able to make mountains and make waterfalls and do all that kind of stuff. You have to play out the main story of the game. So that takes about 40 days in order to unlock that. So guys, that's pretty much everything I need to tell you guys. I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts and why I really gave this game a 9 out of 10. Guys, I played Animal Crossing on the Nintendo GameCube, so you can tell it's been a while. And I hadn't touched an Animal Crossing since, because on the GameCube, that game was very linear. I mean, you could do certain things, but for me as a kid, I got bored very easily. And I have to say, I was very skeptical about Animal Crossing's New Horizons. But the more that I learned about the game, the more excited I became. I've always wanted a game where you can basically create anything you want. You can make it any ways you want. You can have that paradise you've always dreamed of. And it can actually live there with these other characters or friends that are there. And this game allows you to do just that. It allows you basically to create anything you want. It allows you to celebrate holidays. For those of you out there that are stuck in this quarantine right now, who can't socialize, it's a good way to actually kind of socialize without having to go out or do anything. So this game checks a lot of boxes. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 mainly because I do not like the fact that they limited it to one island per Switch. Because even as me, I would like to have multiple accounts and multiple islands to do multiple things on. But I understand why they did it, but I don't like it. So, especially for families out there that you know, you all share one Switch, I really don't like that. And that's my main reason for giving this a 9 out of 10. It's still a fantastic game. I still really, really love it. But that is a major con in my opinion. So 9 out of 10. If you guys have a Nintendo Switch, please give Animal Crossing a chance because it's a really good game. And I have just been absolutely 100% loving it. So anyways, guys, this has been my review of Animal Crossing New Horizons. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Please smack that subscribe button, smack the like button, smack all those buttons. Now, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.